Hi, I'm PtPrepper, and on today's video I'm gonna talk about an amazing piece of British history and ingenuity, the Millbank bag, or in this case knockoff of that really hard, should I say impossible to find piece of British history. It's from Helikon-Tex and it's surprisingly good, so stay tuned. Okay, so today's video is in English because this particular video is dedicated to Rob Williams from Wilderness 121, the UK store. He knew I was looking for a Millbank bag since mine kind of got destroyed, and they're particularly hard to find if you're not in the UK or the British Isles or something like that, especially because customs are a real nightmare nowadays, at least where I live. So knowing that, he was, even though he owns a store, the Wilderness 121, which is one of my favorite bushcraft and survival store ever, he was kind enough to go and look for a place where I could get it easily in order to order it to my country, and he did it. So thanks to him, I'm now able to talk a bit about something which not too many people know about, which is the Millbank bag, or as I said in the introduction, a knockoff, which is easier to find, called made by Helikon-Tex, which is still very, very good. Lacks the how can I say this? Lacks the historical energy, shall I say, of the original one, and there's a couple of things missing, like the line that you know, I'll show it when I finally get to the place where I'm going to film this. So anyway, it's my first video in English. I apologize because English is not my native language, so and I'm doing this in his honor, shall I say. So Rob, again, thank you. This is more than just a piece of equipment to me. This is, you know, the reasons I got the original one in the first place was given to me by somebody who worked with me as a close protection operative in very nasty places. So I was really sad after I destroyed it, which is another story. And so this really means a lot to me, so thank you, Rob. Okay, so the Millbank bag, or the new version. There's a new version now, made in the UK, I think, called the brown water filter bag or something like that. I'm gonna leave the link, because these guys, they went and found the original specifications for the Millbank bag, and they did a modern version of it, which is really, really good, and I'm still gonna try and get it. It's you a couple of years ago you could try and get it from you know, surplus stores and stuff like that, the original ones, but they kind of disappeared. And again, when they were using it originally, they had a special chemical that they used to put on the canvas, which is the material it's made of, to prevent it from going rotten, and it's kind of toxic, you know, like all kinds of nasty chemicals. They didn't care then, since it was designed to be used during the Second World War. That's part of its amazing history. And so the modern version is kind of safer. There's also an American take on it, which is fairly good, I've heard. Haven't tried it yet. So what is the Millbank bag? It's basically a canvas sock shaped bag with a really tightly woven canvas, and it works as a pre-filter, shall I say. It allows us to put this really murky, nasty, dark water, slimy stuff, and kind of slowly allow it to go through all the fibers, the canvas fibers, and filter all that kind of nasty. Now it doesn't purify it, okay? So there's something you should be aware. It filters the water only. Then you still need to purify it using whatever means you consider appropriate to where you are. So history. It was developed during the 40s, early 40s, I think 1940 to be precise, to be used in the war scenario. It was developed in the Royal... my mind. So it was developed at the Royal Army Medical College, south of the Tate Gallery, where the Millbank prison used to be, and it was actually, that prison was where they manufactured hammocks and canvas for hammocks and sails and stuff like that. So hence the name Millbank bag. It was thoroughly used during the Second World War and up till 1989, and I can tell you that some of the Royal Marines still used it in Afghanistan a couple of years ago. So hence the amazing history, because it's still going around. You know, there was a lot of people still looking for it in surplus stores, and it kind of became really hard to find. So I kind of digress, so let's just find a place where I can test this and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I found this amazing, disgusting looking puddle of water, an old tank, water tank that was lying around. I couldn't really get to the river, it wasn't safe. You know, some rocks fell over, I really didn't want to risk it, but this is murkier, so that's really what I wanted. I think it's even better than the clear water river. River water, I'm sorry. So the mock-up Millbank bag comes from Helikon-Tex, comes in this nice pouch, okay? The problem is that when you buy it, the pouch is attached, is sewn to the bag, which kind of makes it useless. So I recommend, and that's what I did, I cut it off, because after you use it, you can, you know, squeeze it, but then put it here, and it's a waterproof, nifty little bag. The bag itself is really kind of similar to the original one. Put this away. So this is what you get, okay? It comes with this, well, not paracord I guess, but it's strong with a little loop, bit of rope, cordage that you can then use to hang it, because that's what you need to do to allow it to drip the the water into the cup that, or whatever you're using to collect it. Now, the original one came, not sure if you can see it, but came with this line here. This one didn't. So based on the drawings that I had from the original one, I did it myself, you know, with the correct proportions. I kind of did it. And why? Because one of the things the instructions clearly mention on the original one was you should fill it to the brim. Okay, not to this level. This is not, you know, you fill it to the brim, but then you have to allow the water to slowly drip until it reaches this line. Okay, so this allows for the gunk, or you know, all the dirty stuff that might be around the bag to kind of fall off with the water, and then from that point on the whole process becomes faster and cleaner. So you should allow this bit to go through before actually collecting the water. That being said, the other thing you have to do is when the bag is new, it might kind of get stuck, you know, drip by drip, and really slowing the process down. So what I advise you to do is to kind of soak it and kind of, you know, because this is virtually indestructible, so you should kind of crush it and, you know, soak it again a couple of times. You can use the washing machine as long as you don't use any detergent or whatever, but I don't like that kind of method. I rather do it the old-fashioned way. That because, and you do this because you want the fibers to loosen up, shall we say, and that will allow the water then to drip properly. So without further ado, let's try this. Okay, so as I said, the first thing you need to do is to soak it for a couple of minutes, or at least to allow it to become really soaked. Okay, so I'm going to do this here. Look at that really nasty color of this water. So I'm going to do this here. Give it a proper, you know, needs to thoroughly soak. Let me grab this. I don't really want to lose this. Okay. You in reality should leave this for a couple of minutes, but I've done this before today, a couple of minutes ago. I'm doing a bilingual version of this video, so I've done this before, so I don't really care. I think this will be enough. Okay, so it's properly soaked. Okay. And so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to use this to collect some water, and then I'm going to hang it there on a nearby tree and allow it to drip again, reaching this line and then collecting the water using my inseparable Crusader mug. So see you in a minute. Okay, so the water is pretty much reaching the line, and as you can hopefully see, it's dripping properly. Now I'm going to use my Crusader mug to pick up and collect this water. It might have to go through this twice or 3 times even to make sure it comes clean. And realizing that this will have contaminated water, do not forget that, okay? So now while this is doing this, let's us allow it to do its magic. Let me remind you that do not squeeze the bag. It's designed to take time. I know we're you know, really used to having everything we want, you know, now, not waiting for stuff. Same way we kind of got unused to being outside, but allow it to run its course, to take its time, think about life or whatever. Personally, when I do this, I think about the reasons why this was invented, what these guys went through when they had to use it, because they didn't really have a choice. And that allows me to realize how lucky I am, living in this day and age where this sort of thing is a luxury and something fun that allows us to relax and not a necessity in our day-to-day lives. So this is going to take some time, and then I'm going to use this and boil it and make a proper tea, which this weather invites. Okay, so now we're waiting for this to come to a proper rolling boil, okay, for a couple of minutes. Not just tiny bubbles, we want a rolling boil. So that's what we want. So I'm kind of waiting for it to do this in order to be able to enjoy a proper cup of tea. We could also use this water to go or any kind of filtration system. I rather use this one because this particular one filters heavy kind of metals and chemicals in the water, though I don't need it here. But anyway, it's an option, okay? So after using the Millbank bag, you should use something like this or any kind of water filtration system, purification system, I'm sorry, being the little chlorine tablets or whatever you fancy, but something, you should use something, okay? So let's just wait for this to get to a rolling boil and enjoy a proper cup of tea while under this amazing tree and the rain falling. So one last thing, while this is still boiling, it's still going, it's a bit cold, though it's in a rolling boil, and I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes more. This was what was left, okay, inside the bag. So and this is how it looks now, clean. So yeah, very, very happy. So once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to wash your Millbank bag or brown water filtration bag, or you know, just turn it out inside out, wash it thoroughly once home, and I think it will last you a lifetime. So once again, Rob from Wilderness 121, thank you for this. This wouldn't have been possible without your help. Thank you. Bliss.